Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of a Stop Doing Nothing show. I love learning about this next guest because one of the things we do is we kind of set up some questions and it gives me a chance to learn about it. And our guest today is Olympia Hostler. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Hostler. And she talks about a lot of topics, but I think the main one is really women and money and premium prices. And what Olympia has done, which I think is pretty cool, which is I'm hoping that some of the things that she's done, is number one, she's really gotten good at premium pricing from what I can tell, and she has a mobile app. And you think those things wouldn't be, related, but it kind of shows that our guest today, Olympia, is just kind of well-rounded and is doing what I like to say, like building all the forks of the empire. She has all these different things coming in. So Olympia, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here, Patrick.
So as a guy, I start looking at your one sheet and all your stuff. I'm like, man, women and money. Why isn't it guys and money? Why is it women and money? So, can you just kind of tell me, why is it women and money? What's the difference between like men and money and women and money?
Oh my God. Well, that would be a very long conversation. I shall try to encapsulate it in a nutshell.
Got it.
Okay. So women, it's the programming that we have when we are growing up. It's partly in our culture too.
Mm-hmm.
Men are more of the breadwinners, even though women need to be breadwinners. It's our programming, partly of the role of men as providers and protectors, but then the other part is also more of the emotional side where women are have less self-esteem, and less balls, so to speak, to just go for what they want and to just have that innate confidence and power. So it's these programmings, it's the beliefs, the limiting decisions, the stuck emotions, all about money that are what's stopping them.
So would you say it's kind of, that is that another way of saying like it's the culture, maybe the way that men and women have historically been raised differently to think about like responsibility and like even aggressiveness?
Yeah, aggressive versus assertive. I mean, let's face it, if a woman is assertive, she's called a bitch, pretty much, right? Man isn't called anything negative other than, oh, he's, go get him, tiger,
Got it. Yeah, he's inspirational, he's motivational, he's aggressive versus the B word.
Right.
So then that kind of leads into another question as a woman. So let's assume I'm a woman now. I'm not a very good looking woman, but let's assume I was a woman and I come to you and all of a sudden you're talking to me about dating money. What does that mean for me as a 6 foot tall, bald woman to date money?
To date money. Well, it's referring to getting your relationship with money to be a great one. So first, a lot of women are afraid of money or they've been burned by money, very much like the dating scene or relationships.
Right.
So what I like to start off people with is let's shore up that relationship and make it awesome. So that not only do you start by dipping your toes in the water and dating money, but then you move on to friends with benefits relationship with money.
I love these terms. These are great.
Yeah, that's what money can do for you. It can give you a lot of benefits.
So what if okay, I've got some questions here, but now I'm going to dig into that. Friends with benefits. So does this mean that you can have money and not have the commitment of what money involves, or what is that?
Okay.
I love the phrase, but I don't quite understand what it means to have money with benefits or friends with money with benefits.
I'm focusing more on the benefit side of things than the commitment side.
Got it.
Because once your relationship really is strong and healthy with money, you really are committed to it and you're really able to reap the benefits of it. So people want money not just because they want money, they want it for what they can do for them.
Exactly. Nobody wants the Scrooge McDuck thing where they're swimming around in dirty green money.
Right. Exactly. So those are what I consider the benefits. Does it allow you to have the lifestyle you want, have a meaningful life, spend more time with your kids, go on vacation, give back, make an impact? All of those things are what I'm considering the benefits.
Got it. Got it. So
Yeah.
then if I'm somebody that wants to come into your world, it sounds like from reading your materials that there may be some things, some personal internal things, I think you call them money blocks here, that are
Yeah.
kind of getting in the way of me doing that. So me being a historically raised woman, when it comes to money, what are some of the things that you kind of help, like on the money block side, that I may not see inside myself, that I need to get through?
Okay. The top four women's money blocks are I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, which are really two different versions of the same thing,
Okay.
fear of success, and fear of failure. Most people know about the fear of failure, but the fear of success is the one that is the most hidden from people. And that kind of plays out in our money story as, well, if I become so successful, then I'm not going to have a life. I'm going to not be able to do the things I love. I'll be chased around by paparazzi. I'll be a target for people,
Right.
to hurt me, or I'll have to maintain that and I'll lose myself. So it's all the story that goes along with those beliefs.
Got it. And so the fear of success, the fear of failure, not worthy. Let's talk on the worthy one a little bit.
Okay.
If I come to you, and how can you look at me, or how do you work with people and understand that they don't basically feel they have either the self-worth or whether or not they are worthy to charge, like premium pricing, like if
Right.
I'm a woman and I come to you and I'm used to charging, $500, and you, Olympia, say, Patrick, you should be charging, excuse me, $500. And you, Olympia, come to me and say, well, you really should be charging $5,000 about that, because I know you talk about premium pricing.
Right.
How do I, as a woman, or how do you help a woman understand that they are worth that $5,000 worth it versus that $500 when it comes to their business?
It's a process, and it starts with identifying that is the pattern, because a lot of people don't even know that's the pattern. So first step, awareness.
Okay.
Then you go into really changing those blocks, those beliefs that are causing the blocks at the unconscious mind level,
Right.
because that's where the program is stored, and that's like your operating system. So
Right.
if you want to change something deep on a computer, you've got to go to the operating system. So we have to change it there. And once it's changed, it's like you flip the switch on your money. So your switch is on, your money is flowing, and that is permanent. Just like the program that you have now,
Mm-hmm.
it's permanent. You don't think about it. You don't have to exercise it. You don't have to do a million affirmations. It's just running in the background. So we install that new program. Then we also get it out of the body. And so, because in the body, what's been happening are effects from the fight, flight, freeze system, which is our
Mm-hmm.
autonomic nervous system, has been activated by money programming.
Okay.
So it's like you've been burned by money, literally. You've had this kind of a traumatic
Interesting.
effect. The body is in a heightened state of awareness. There's all kinds of effects that happen
Right.
because you're in the fight, flight, freeze response. So what I help people do is to reset their nervous system in their body back to the rest and digest phase, which is the parasympathetic nervous system,
Hmm.
where all of a sudden their body can relax. Their body doesn't hold that tightness and that tension. And it also doesn't hold that state of constant alarm. It's like there's a 24/7 alarm going off and you're being chased by a saber-toothed tiger. So your body is not going to let you rest or
Right.
digest or think clearly. There's all this cascade of effects that happen that keep you from being able to be successful, from being able to charge significant prices that are really valuable. So we have to do that clearing first.
Mm-hmm.
Then once we do the clearing, then we go in and we check again. And I have a whole system for doing that. I'll give you a
Okay.
little story. You ready for a story?
Sure.
Okay. So one of my clients, she was charging, let's see, I think it was like $75 an hour, just very low amount for
Ooh,
her
boy, I
services.
remember those days.
Yeah. And she was giving them an hour and a half worth of work because she felt like she wanted to just give, and that the $75 per hour really wasn't enough. So, and she's exhausted at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So we did these techniques with her. Then she reported to me that she raised her prices to $100 an hour, which was a big step for her.
Right.
And so I asked her, I said, let's play a little game. So I'm a potential client and I come to you and I say, I want to give you $50 an hour to work with you. And you could just see in her whole body language and in her words, it was more like a no. Then I said, okay, Galena, I will pay you $75 an hour, which was her old rate. And she just went, no. I said, okay, I want to pay you $150 an hour. And then the reaction was, oh, no, 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 no. So it's part of the pricing challenge is not
Right.
only clearing, then it's getting used to it and aligning with it. Because I can come in and say, hey, charge $5,000 for that. But that's not going to work if the person is not actually aligned with it. And sometimes they can make that bigger leap in pricing and sometimes they can't. And it's a function of their nervous system and their beliefs. So we can kind of ratchet it up, or some people can just go, 100 miles an hour toward it and they can just make the leap.
So it sounds like that when people were, if people were coming to her, you gave her those examples of someone coming in and basically asking less than her rate. It's almost like we have to train ourselves, psychologically or physiologically to, I'm not going to say find that offensive, but to basically just reject that right off the bat. Did I kind of pick up on that a little bit?
You got it. So if I came to you and I said, like, you're how tall are you?
6'2".
You're 6'2". So if I come to you and I go, Patrick, you're really short. See the reaction? It's like, boom, no, that's not true. I reject that. And if I go, Patrick, you're a giant. You must be like 8 feet tall. You're going to have the same reaction, right?
Right.
Because or you believe something about yourself. And if anything else is not in that bandwidth, you're not going to have it.
Got it. Okay. Because I've had people actually say both. It just depends on the person looking up or looking down at me. Yeah, we got a basketball team here a couple of years ago, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and for the most part, I'm the biggest person in any room I go into until I stepped inside of an elevator with a basketball player, and then at 6'2", I was the short guy.
Yeah.
So that was interesting that you brought up that example. Okay, so you've now kind of understood the physiological results of money and the training of the mind money. So now I would think that, as a woman, if once I've gotten past that part, now all of a sudden, if I'm charging these premium prices, it sounds like I'm going to have to work a lot harder and a lot longer hours. So, you always hear people say that they quit a 40-hour-a-week job. So as entrepreneurs, we can work a 60-hour-a-week job.
Right.
Is that something that's going to happen when I charge more? Is all of a sudden that I'm going to have to be working a lot longer hours and it's going to consume my life? Because that would be my first inclination. Is that kind of where we're going with more money?
No. The concept is you make more money and you work less. And it's so achievable because, well, two things. One is you're making more money per person or per product. So you don't have to have as many sales, so to speak. So that's one bit of working less. But the other part of working less is that you need to have systems in place. Now, and this goes whether you have higher prices or not. Okay. But a lot of people don't have it no matter what their price is. They need a system that is steady, that they can just go step by step by step, and they can do only what needs to be done to achieve the results that they want to, and stop with all those shiny squirrels. Like, there are so many shiny squirrels going around. I call them, they're distractions. And so many gurus are out there teaching, oh, you have to have this system or you have to have that system. And oh, by the way, that's my system.
Right.
But that system is only one little bit of a system. It's not a complete step-by-step guide, so to speak, of where do you go. You start here, here's your goal, here's how you get there, your fastest path to cash. And once you get on that, you're not even attracted to those squirrels anymore. You just know, I've got this money-making machine. I do this, I do that, I do that. And so some of the top things right now to make money, even in the virus times here, the pandemic,
Right.
are one thing I'm doing right now, being a guest on podcasts.
Right.
Another one is speaking, virtual events. Another one is LinkedIn, especially for professionals. So,
Interesting.
so what I do with people is we sit down and we assess what stage of business they're in, what are their goals, what are their prices, where do they want to go, and I map out a plan for them. I call it the 25,000 foot view.
Okay.
Up here, looking down, here's what you do, and that's what you do, and you do not deviate. And it works like clockwork.
Got it. I'm always up for high level views as a pilot. I'm always loving looking at things at 10 and 20,000 feet. So that's really good that you do that. And I want people to pay special attention to the fact that you do come in and you make sure you kind of keep them at that higher level, because I noticed, at least for me, if I get, I can get down too much in the weeds and things, I'm not paying attention to the bigger picture. And when I do that, it actually slows my progress and in turn slows my profit.
Yep.
Okay, I was going through all of your stuff in your bio, and something else that did stand out to me, which I thought was cool, is you, like me, got your real estate license.
Yes.
And I've always thought that when I had that, during that time period, I don't have any more with that, during that time period when I had that, I learned a lot about people and business. And I want to talk about that briefly. I'm sure you were already successful when you went into real estate, but were there any lessons as a part of being in real estate that you learned about people, or specifically women and money? Because I noticed, for example, I would pick up a lot on psychology of couples when I'd be out, I'm just kind of following the couple around the house. Did you pick up on any lessons, or did it help your understanding of women and money better as a result of having your real estate license?
100% it did. Women are emotional buyers. And there's no bigger emotional decision, frankly, than buying a house, because the stakes are so high with the money.
Right.
Like here in Southern California, the average price of a home is over $700,000. And that's a small home, not one that you're really going to be excited about.
Right.
So it's the emotional decision. And I actually went into commercial real estate. I started in residential, then I went to commercial, because I frankly got tired of all of the emotional decision. Because I have a good balance of masculine and feminine energy, but also thinking. So when I go in, I'm evaluating the numbers. I'm like, okay, this is a good investment. It's going to be a good resale. How much money do I have to put into it? What are the numbers? Yes, I have to like it also. But what I figured out very quickly in my residential career was to hone in to what the woman wants, because the woman is the decision maker in real estate. Even though it might be the man's money, it doesn't matter. The woman has to like it, and she's the one who gives the green light.
The blessing, right?
So I would hone in on what it is that they're really looking for. So they're looking for a house to go with their kitchen,
right? Or
they're looking for 3 bedrooms. A house to go with 3 bedrooms for the kids, or they're looking for a garden. And then a house that goes with it. So really honing in on what is it that's driving their buying decision.
Got it. So often, would you ever find that it was in real estate, what they said they wanted maybe, and then what they really wanted when they got into a house maybe weren't the same things, or maybe what they wanted at the beginning of when they, hired you versus the end, that it wasn't ever the same thing?
Very frequently, Patrick. Yes, that was so common. And as I went through my career, I got better and better at identifying that, because it's hard for them to convey to a real estate agent or to anybody the emotions that are going on and what are the triggers that are going to make them buy, because they don't really know. I mean, they know they want a nice kitchen, but can they tell you all these different, or they know, or they think they want something? I mean, how many times does this happen in just life, not just real estate?
Right.
I think I want this. And then I get close to that, or I get that, and I'm like, that's not really what I wanted. I thought that's what I wanted, but I really want this.
Right.
So that's, yeah.
Got it. And I think in real estate, there's something else I learned also, is that people really do want it. They sometimes go into it with precise definitions of, in my world of marketing, I call it tactics. They know they want to run a Facebook ad, but in
Right.
reality, what you have to focus on is really what's the end result of what they want. Nobody wakes up in the morning wanting to run a Facebook ad. People
Right.
want sales and they want profit. And at the end of the day, they really don't care how they get there.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I learned from real estate is the bigger the strategy versus the actual tactics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where I was looking again at all the list of information you sent me, and something I thought was really exciting is this app you have. You have a money dating app called Plenty of Moolah. Can you talk about that for a little bit, please?
Yes, it's actually a fictitious app, Patrick. I don't have it yet. I have bought the URL. It's in development. I use it as a teaching tool and a speaking tool when I speak. Like I was just on Marisa Murgatroyd's stage with her in March, and I gave a presentation, Would You Date Money? And so what I do is I go through as if we're in the money dating app, plentyofmoolah.com, and we have profiles of people who are representing different aspects of money, different truths, different myths, different personalities, so to speak, of money. Okay. So I have one that I call Jerk Off Biff.
Got it.
And then I literally go through like it's a dating profile. Like, here's the things I like, here's the things I don't like. So it says something like, well, if you like spending lots of time doing things I like to do, if you like slaving away from me, right, if you like losing yourself, then I'm your Mr. Icky Right. And then I have another profile, Dreamy Moolah, and it's like this picture of a guy's face and, the ocean in the background. And that one's representing more of the truth of money. So this is more like we can have a partnership. We're going to, if you like to share things, if you like to, be not 50-50, but if you like to just have a partnership, then we're going to get along fine and we're going to have a great love affair. So I use it in that regard, and I will be building it out, but I don't have it yet.
Got it. Okay. So these are almost like personas, or in the marketing term, avatar, kind of like different avatars of the different people, right?
Right. Exactly.
Got it. Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
Talk a little bit. You had a client named Ellen that was somehow involved in a story about money on demand, because I really like this concept of money on demand. Can you talk about that story for a little bit, and what what does it mean, kind of money on demand, outside of the kind of the obvious definition of the words?
Right. So money on demand means that once you have your programming changed about money, you don't have the money blocks anymore. So once those blocks are gone, money is just going to flow into you. Now, it's still going to flow out, no doubt about it. That's what money does. It comes in and it goes.
Right.
But it's going to come in at a much faster rate and a larger rate. So it's that flow. It's always going to be there for you. And you will have the confidence and you'll have the certainty to know that you will always make more. Because what happens for a lot of people is they don't have that. They think that when money comes in, I have to hold on to that. I have to hold on to that because I don't know when it's going to come again, or if it's going to come again, or how much is going to come. And, so I just have to hold on to this. And so it doesn't flow. And when it flows, that's when you get it on demand. And my client, Ellen, the example for her is that she had never written a proposal. She's a marketing consultant for more than $10,000. And that was a big one for her. So she took my Mind Over Money makeover course, and within the first 4 weeks, she was still in the course. She wasn't even out of the course.
Right.
She wrote 3 $50,000 proposals. Wow. And she got 2 of those. It took her a couple months to get them because they had, things to do. But she wrote them in the 4th week. She got 2 of those. And then out of the woodwork, here's the on demand. 2 people she had written $10,000 proposals for the previous year, and they said no. They came to her and said, we're ready now.
So it helped the higher price stuff, or I don't know if it would be her mindset, did it kind of help close those other ones, or did it help them see her value? Why do you think those other two came in and closed?
I think they came in, well, partly it was, timing. It's always timing when people
Right.
close contracts. But more than that, they sensed from her, like her confidence. Like you can just tell when you walk into a room. Okay, here's an example. I'm not going to give a name, but I was watching a Facebook Live earlier this week. I was really looking forward to it. And this lady gets on and she has this program. I'm not going to tell the program, but she gets on and she's like that. She's like, we're going to do this and, and yeah, and that, and then we do this and, it's good. It's really good. You're going to like it. Does that instill confidence in a person?
No,
For a buying decision?
That's the
No,
milk toast presentation right there.
Exactly. And I'm not saying Ellen was totally that, but people pick up on that. They pick up on it unconsciously. And so then when you come in and you're just like, boof, here I am. I know what I've got. Would you like to play in my pool? Here's the price to play in my pool with me. This is it right here. You want it or you don't.
Exactly.
This is it. And people go, that. Whoa, yeah. Okay, I want some of what she's got.
Got it. So they want to be in your world as a result of kind of the confidence you exude when you walk in the room.
Right. And the confidence that you hold on to for your pricing. That's the other thing. Like, I'll give you a good example. So I also own pain relief centers. And so I got a call from this guy and we do transformative work that actually is not pain management. It's pain relief and pain solutions.
Right.
Very few people do that. And our price for that is a fair price. It's not, a fluff and buff price, fluff and buff massage kind of a thing. So this guy calls me up, this is in New York City, and he goes, hey, I really need your services. I've heard that this stuff works and blah, 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 blah. And what's your price? And I told him, I said, it's $175 an hour. And he goes, I can go to Chinatown and for $40, I can get a massage. And I'm like, then why are you talking to me? like what's the deal here?
Exactly.
Because you've got the solution. And I said, exactly. So how many times have you paid $40 in Chinatown? And he didn't want to tell me. I said, that's okay. You can do your own math. You don't have to tell me. And how much better off are you than before you went to the Chinatowns? And he said, I'm not. And I said, great. So you're going to spend a lifetime of $40 for Chinatown fluff and buffs, or you can pay $175 an hour. And I can't tell you precisely how many times, but I can tell you it's a finite number. And each time you're getting better and you are getting better.
Right.
So that's the kind of like confidence, but it's also just the standing in your power. Like, this is it. This is what it costs to do this. And I'm special. What I'm offering is special. And if you don't understand that value, then, it's probably not going to work out well anyway.
I think I've seen that before. Like, if you have to justify your price too much, there's going to be problems later on. And I've noticed in my business, when I've wanted to do higher price things early on, if I got someone to talk my pricing down, which I'll have to admit, this has happened in the past, then that should have been like a red flag that there were going to be problems, because there were problems in most of those relationships. I think we've all kind of learned that it's really kind of weird, I think, how the really lower end clients are the most troublesome ones. Is that a true statement, would you say?
It is a true statement. Yep.
Got it.
Partly because they, like we were talking about with the real estate, they think they know what they want, may or may not be what they want, may or may not be what they need. And they're struggling. And, God bless them. They are trying, but they're like a one-eyed dog in a meat market. They're like, what about this? What about that? Well, that looks good. And they just don't know what is the thing that they need that is going to move the needle. And that is priceless. If you don't have that, you are just all over the place and you're never going to be able to I shouldn't say never, most likely not going to be able to pull it all together and and get where you want to go.
Got it. I love this phrase, standing in your power. That I wrote that down and put quotes around it. I'm going to be using that one. As we wrap up here, I know we want people to go to, you can be found at womenchoosewealth.com. And if anyone, goes to the website, I'm sure they can find your phone number and how you find you on LinkedIn and Facebook. But as we kind of wrap up here, I wonder if you could tell me, again, as a 6-foot tall, bald woman, if I want to prep myself to hire Olympia and I want to come into your world, what is like one major mindset that I should focus on as I get ready to go to your website to call you and work with you? What's like the very first mindset thing I have to get over to be prepared to work with Olympia?
To take your blinders off. Just take them off, because the world is full of possibilities, and what you think is possible for you is probably just a fraction of what's really possible. And that's part of my secret sauce, is to help you not only see that, believe it, but also be it and do it.
Got it. Take your blinders off. So for those of you that are watching, please make sure you write that down. Hopefully you've taken plenty of notes as a result, because this woman is brilliant. Taking your blinders off, standing in your power. There are a bunch of other really great excerpts here that I want everyone to take away from this. Again, your website is womenchoosewealth.com. The app, any idea when the app's going to be out? Today, tomorrow, Friday, next month?
No, not that soon, but I will be sure to let you and your listeners know. I also can I share a free gift?
Of course.
Okay. So this is great for anybody. It's mymoneyblocks.com. So mymoneyblocks, plural.com. It is a short 2-minute quiz. You take the quiz and you will discover your money blocks. It will send you an email and tell you where you are and what you're doing. And so that's a great tool for you to start to illuminate what's happening with you. And then you decide what you want to do with that information.
Got it. I'm there right now.
Or you can decide to come over to my universe and play with me.
Got it. Well, Olympia, I really do appreciate your time. I've learned a lot. And like I said, you even have a brilliant one sheet here, which makes it very easy to learn more about you and your world. Again, people, make sure you follow her on social media. It sounds like LinkedIn and Facebook are maybe the two primary places to follow you on social media.
Yes, and I've just added a YouTube channel, so I'm posting videos very frequently there. Yes, Women Choose Wealth is the YouTube channel.
YouTube is one of my favorite platforms. But Olympia, thank you very much for your time, and I appreciate you. And here's to your success for the rest of 2020.
Thank you, Patrick. It was a pleasure to be here.
Take care.
Bye.